When I brought Milo home, he fit perfectly in the palm of my hand. That tiny ball of gray and white fur weighed barely 2 pounds. But what happened over the next 24 months completely shocked everyone who knew him. Now he's a 26-pound giant who still thinks he's that tiny kitten. And the way he acts will absolutely blow your mind. I remember the first night Milo came home. He was 8 weeks old with those enormous green eyes that seemed too big for his tiny face. The shelter worker had mentioned he was a Maine Coon mix, but I didn't think much about it. I just saw this adorable kitten who needed a home. He curled up in my hoodie pocket that first evening, purring so loudly you could hear it across the room. That pocket became his favorite spot for the next 3 months. By month 4, something started changing. Milo was growing faster than any cat I'd ever seen. His paws were becoming massive, almost comically large compared to his body. The vet assured me this was normal for Maine Coons, but I wasn't prepared for what was coming. He went from fitting in my pocket to barely fitting in my arms in what felt like weeks. Here's where things got interesting. Most cats, as they grow bigger, start acting more independent and dignified, but not Milo. At 6 months old, weighing nearly 12 pounds, he still tried to squeeze into that hoodie pocket. He'd push his head in, then his front paws, completely ignoring the fact that half his body was hanging out. The determination in his eyes was both hilarious and heartbreaking. Now, I want to ask you something, and I'm genuinely curious about your answer. Do you think giant cats like Maine Coons are more affectionate because they don't realize their size? Or do regular-sized cats just hide their clinginess better because they can actually fit in small spaces? Think about that for a moment. Because Milo's behavior over the next year made me question everything I thought I knew about cat psychology. If you're enjoying Milo's incredible journey, make sure to subscribe for more amazing cat transformations. By his first birthday, Milo hit 18 pounds. The vet called him a perfect specimen of the breed. But here's what the vet didn't see. Milo's still trying to sit on my shoulder like he did as a kitten. Imagine a cat the size of a small dog attempting to perch on your shoulder while you're making coffee. The first time he successfully landed there after his growth spurt, I nearly dropped my mug. The shoulder sitting became a daily routine. Every morning, Milo would leap from the counter onto my shoulder. And catching an 18-pound cat midair becomes a skill you develop quickly. My friends thought I was crazy for allowing it, but how do you say no to those eyes? Around 15 months, Milo discovered the bathroom sink. As a kitten, he loved sleeping in small, enclosed spaces. The sink seemed perfect to him. The problem? He was now too big to fit comfortably. But did that stop him? Absolutely not. Every single day, I'd find him squeezed into that sink, parts hanging over the edges, looking absolutely content. What fascinates me most is Milo's complete lack of self-awareness about his size. He'd try to hide behind curtains, with his entire back half visible. He'd attempt to squeeze under the couch, where he used to nap, getting stuck halfway. And my personal favorite, he'd try to fit into cardboard boxes, clearly meant for shipping shoes, not accommodating massive Maine Coons. By 18 months, Milo reached 23 pounds. The growth had slowed, but his kitten mentality hadn't changed at all. Here's something that really makes you think. Is it possible that in his mind, he never grew? Do cats have that kind of self-perception? Or does he genuinely believe the world around him just got smaller? The lap-sitting situation became particularly challenging. Milo's favorite evening activity was climbing onto my lap while I watched TV. When he was small, this was adorable. When he's 23 pounds of pure fluff and muscle, it's a completely different experience. He'd circle around, trying to find the perfect position, completely covering my entire lap. The weight made my legs go numb within 20 minutes, but his purring was so loud and happy that I couldn't bring myself to move him. Then came the most shocking moment. Milo turned 2 years old last month and hit 26 pounds. The vet said he's likely done growing. But here's what happened. I brought home a new cat carrier, the same size as his original one. He took one look at it, walked right in, and tried to turn around inside just like he used to. He couldn't. He got wedged in there, front half in, back half sticking out, just sitting there looking confused. This is what I find remarkable about cats like Milo. Their confidence doesn't match their reality, and somehow that makes them even more endearing. He still runs through the house like a kitten, despite sounding like a small horse galloping across hardwood floors. He still tries to play with toys designed for regular cats, his massive paws making the tiny mouse toys look ridiculous. Living with Milo has taught me something profound. We all grow and change, but maybe who we are inside doesn't change as much as we think. Milo might be 26 pounds of Maine Coon magnificence, but in his heart, he's still that 2-pound kitten who fit in my hoodie pocket. Now, here's what I want to know from you. If you have a large cat breed, does yours act like Milo? Do they still try to do kitten things despite their size? Or do you think smaller cats would act the same way if they suddenly grew to massive proportions? This question genuinely keeps me up at night. The reality of owning a giant cat who thinks he's tiny isn't always easy. My shoulders ache from him jumping on them, my lap goes numb during our evening sessions, my bathroom sink permanently has cat fur in it. But watching Milo squeeze himself into spaces too small, trying with complete determination to relive his kitten days, brings more joy than any inconvenience could take away. Last week, something happened that perfectly summarized life with Milo. I was folding laundry, and he jumped into the basket, just like he used to as a kitten. The basket immediately collapsed under his weight, but Milo just sat there, in the flattened basket, surrounded by unfolded clothes, purring loudly, completely satisfied. In his mind, he had successfully claimed his favorite spot. So here's my final question. Is Milo's behavior a Maine Coon thing, or do all cats secretly think they never grew up? Because if it's the latter, that changes everything we think about cat psychology. And if you're considering getting a Maine Coon kitten, remember this. That adorable little furball will become a giant who still acts exactly the same way.